Another wonderful theory about behind Wing Chun is that we can make use of what I call the leverage theory. Like a lever. A lever can you can use very little force against a lot of force by means of a lever. Okay. That's why we call this a leverage theory. Okay, now Johnny is going to attack me with side punches and see how I reacted to his side punches. Okay. Now we are going to do it a bit slowly. Okay. First, Johnny give me a punch like that, and then you know that I just step forward to meet his punch with a beauty. This is what we call beauty in Wing Chun. Okay? And then of course, at the same time, I'll just hit out at his nose. Okay? If Johnny is very strong, he can stand my punch. He'll give out another punch like that. Okay, I'll give out a beauty and hit him the second time at his nose. Of course, if I hit his nose 2 times, I think his nose will be flattened. Okay, but anyway, we don't normally do that. We only do this in very dangerous situations. Maybe when our life is threatened, then we have to break our opponent's nose in order to save ourselves. Okay, I want to explain how this works. When Johnny gives me a punch, I don't use a block like that, because if I use a block like that, it will be sort of point-to-point contact, sort of a direct collision. Okay, and then if I have a weaker forearm, I may get hurt very badly, or I may even break my forearm. But in this case, I'm using the full length of my forearm along one point of Johnny's wrist, spreading out his attacking force, very much reducing the impact of the force. That is how that leverage theory works in this case. Now, okay, Johnny is going to give me a kick, and you just see how I'm going to block his kick. Okay? Okay. He can do it even more quickly again. Okay. You notice here, Johnny was kicking me like that, and this time the leverage theory works a bit differently. Instead of using the whole length of my forearm, I was using one point, but this point of contact will go along the inside of Johnny's arm. That is a Wing Chun gang shao. In Wing Chun, the gang shao goes down like that. That is a double gang shao. But for a single gang shao, it goes down like that. It's the center line down. Therefore, my gang shao will go along the inside of Johnny's leg. Okay. In that case, again, I will spread out his attacking force all along the inside of his leg, very much reducing the impact of the attack. Okay, that is again how the leverage theory works, but in a slightly different way. Okay, now we come to the very last theory that I want to talk about, is how you can make use of your opponent's force against himself. I want to show you another video in which I had some demonstration with one of my best female students, Teresa. But Teresa will first demonstrate a pole pie move. Actually, a pole pie is again a very good example of how you can make use of the redirecting your opponent's force and also the leverage theory. Therefore, Teresa will demonstrate a pole pie first, and then she will show how she can make use of my force against myself. okay, in that wonderful video. The second theory of the good use of Wing Chun force is sort of we just use very little force against very strong force with what we call the po pai. Po pai move in Wing Chun. It's as a sort of a leverage, a lever. You can avoid the center of force. No matter how strong I was on her, if she tried to reach my face, she can't, because she has to lift up my whole body weight. But if she uses the po pai theory, she's using a leverage theory, like a lever. She can attack me very easily, no matter how heavy my force is on her. Now, I really have very heavy force here. She try to do it now. The idea is have her elbow go backward and forward like that to avoid the focus of my force, and then I find that my force can land on nowhere, but she can still avoid the center of my force, and I find that my body has to go backward. We try again, okay? See, my whole body moves because of the po pai theory, okay? If you can do that, not going on the same plane, but going back and forth again, like that, is a very, very wonderful theory, the leverage theory, against very, very heavy forces. The third force is what I consider to be the most important Wing Chun theory, is to use your enemy's force, your opponent's force against himself. Okay? Use your enemy's force or use your opponent's force against himself. Again, I was not play acting. When I was doing the lifestyle exercise with her, that is what we call the lifestyle exercise, I suddenly give her a very aggressive lifestyle. That means a very, very strong pull. As long as her bong sao, this is what we call a bong sao, stays totally relaxed, she allows herself to dash forward, and then she is making full use of my force against myself. Okay, let's start from here. As long as I make a very, very big pull there, but if her bong sao stays totally relaxed, at the same time she dashes forward, then she can make use of my force, and I find a very big impact on me. Therefore, I have to protect myself with that. Okay, we start even from there. I suddenly give her a very big pull. She just stays totally relaxed. Okay. That's for such a gentle lady, you can't imagine her giving me such a big pull, because actually she was using my force against me. That's the important thing, okay? That's the beauty of Wing Chun.